Do you feel trapped in your job or a personal relationship? I want you to consider something. What if some of the walls around you aren't really walls? What if the walls are beliefs that you learned a long time ago and you never questioned them? I know because I used to feel trapped too. In this video, I'm just going to talk about my own personal experience with the tarot and one key in particular. But before I get into that, I want to backtrack a little bit. Where I used to feel trapped was in my mind. A lot of second guessing, especially around decision making, and really learning to listen to people around me, external sources, to validate the decisions that I made or to actually help me make decisions. And it got to be very overwhelming and very confusing and just led to a cycle of me sitting there spinning my wheels and not really moving forward and going anywhere. My mind was really busy and overwhelmed, a lot of confusion going on in there. One of the beliefs around this confusion, and I think stems on a deeper level, I'm going to give you a personal example. So I, grew up in a household where my dad was in and out, and my mom was really hardworking, and there was myself and my two younger sisters. And my mom worked all the time. Like she was working all the time. And when I was young, I just wanted to hang out with my mom and, play and all that kind of thing. But my mom was never a playful person. She was never in the mood for that. Her demeanor, her behavior was more matter of fact, and frankly, for me as a kid, cold. And and I took that as being rejection from her. So I didn't get the emotional feeling that I wanted to get from her when I was a kid. And I took that to be rejection of me as a person, personally. And now that I'm not a kid anymore, I get to choose and decide a different narrative. And I've done that. I've done a lot of work around my own personal beliefs of what I had when I was a kid and the relationship that I had between myself and my mother, and also some work around relationship and my beliefs around that with my dad. And I have come to the conclusion now and have changed my perception about that actual experience that I had with her coming home from work and not coming and greeting me with a hug or a kiss like I kind of wanted that to happen. She was just so exhausted and tired. And I look at it differently now because it doesn't mean that she didn't care for me or she didn't love me or she was rejecting me. That was something I was building up in my mind. That was actually not true. Her sacrifice to work hard and do what she was doing was to take care of me and my sisters, to make sure that we had a roof over our heads, that we never went to bed hungry. I don't ever recall going to bed hungry, and clothing that was clean and fit us properly. And I didn't go to school with one shoe on my foot and one shoe off. So she took care of my physical needs, but not the emotional needs. But I looked at it differently. I now see that she cared for me and loved me in the best way that she could do so. And so that's what I mean about now that I'm an adult, I'm not a kid anymore. I don't have to stay in that child's narrative of her rejecting me as a person because that wasn't true. I know that now. With the mind can play a lot of crazy tricks on you, right? Telling you that you're not good enough, you're not valued, people reject you, people don't care about what you're going to say, they don't care what you think, your opinions don't matter, etc. The list goes on and on. I'm sure you have your list that you could add to that, right? And a lot of this comes from this card here, key 15. This symbolism here of this key represents the mind on the physical plane. When I mean physical plane, like your environment, right? Everything that's around you, and also represents your personality. So not only your environment, but also your thoughts and your feelings, your emotions about an experience that you've had. These experiences are stored as memory. So I had that memory of my own childhood feeling rejected by my mom, but seeing it differently now. And again, doing a lot of work on my mindset to see things differently. And the big key to doing that, to changing how you see something, if you do feel trapped, like for example, you're in a job where you feel like you can't leave because you're afraid to leave, because you know that this job pays your bills and you really want to pursue something that really lights you up because your current situation with your job doesn't light you up anymore and you're bored of it, or you know that you want to make a bigger impact in the world and help other people, but you feel stuck, you feel trapped where you are. The big thing I can say with this key is, this is the beginning. This is where you start. You start with the mind. You start with changing your beliefs, because a belief is really just something you tell yourself over and over and over and over and over again until your mind and your body have no other choice but to accept it as a belief. So the question I want to leave with you is, where in your job are you assuming that you have no choice? Think about that. Consider that question. And again, I'm a big proponent of nature. Go out in nature, walk. Just ask yourself that question. What are you afraid of when it comes to your job? If you know that you want to leave and you want to do something else, what's really holding you back? What are the beliefs underneath the decision that you're currently making if you feel trapped? Your job or your relationships. Maybe you got a personal relationship that you'd love to change, or maybe you want to walk away because it's not serving you anymore. So I just like you to sit there and contemplate that, if that makes more sense to you, to go into meditation with that. Or you can go outside and you can do a walking meditation or sit on a bench and just have the sun hit your face. Because with this key is like the reversal of light. This is showing darkness. This is the darkness, the chaos, the confusion, the fear of the mind. And you can turn it around and you can look at the light. So that's why I suggest going outside if it's sunny right now where you are, or just stand by the window if there's light coming in the window, and just let the light stream across your face, and close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just really start asking yourself that question. I know it could be scary because I've been there too, and it was a question that I didn't really want to address, but really, to make the changes that we need to make, we have to ask ourselves those hard questions, and we have to look within. We're not going to get the answers from other people around us. We got to go within to get the answer, right? The source is you, within you. I'm going to leave a link to another video that I think may also help you to get a little bit deeper if you're curious and you want to learn more about our belief systems and where that comes from. So I'm going to drop a link to that video in the description that you can watch afterwards. You can start there as well, and then address this question that I'm posing to you today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and I really hope this helps you get a little bit more clarity and take that first step forward. And you're doing okay. I know you're doing the best that you can, and I'm here for you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.